Hello everyone, my name is Landon and welcome back to the Fright Factor. And today we are looking at Pet Semetary by Stephen King. Now, as a lot of you may know, Pet Semetary is one of his scariest, darkest, and saddest books. It's very depressing and it's very scary all at the same time. It has you crying at one scene and then the next scene you're absolutely crapping yourself. So let's talk about what Pet Semetary is about, and let's get into the scary scenes. As you guys know, there's spoilers in these videos. Pet Semetary is about a man and his family, the Creed family. His name is Lewis. They move out to Maine from Boston, I believe it is, and they move into this house, and they meet a neighbor, and the neighbor's name is Judd. Judd introduces them to a place called the Pet Semetary, and one night after Lois's daughter's cat gets killed when she's not home, they're visiting family. When her cat dies, he goes to Judd, and Judd brings him to the Pet Semetary to bury the cat. The next morning, Lewis realizes that the cat, his name is Church, has come back to life and is now walking around once again as a zombie because it's not the same cat as it was before. There's something wrong with Church, and even Ellie is the little girl's name. She knows something's off with Church when she gets home from visiting family with her mom. Church smells bad. He doesn't act the way that he used to. And he's very, I'm pretty sure this happens, but he's very protective of Lewis because you have to bury your own. So they won't kill whoever buried them. I believe that's like, except for the ending. But I'm not sure if that was only the movie ending. But they don't usually kill the people who killed them unless, obviously, the person who buried them and brought them back to life is gonna try and kill them. Because that happens, and the Judd tells a backstory about the guy who buried his son, and the son did listen to him, but obviously not for long. So, and then one day, this is where the big spoilers come in, Lewis's son, Gage, runs out into the middle of the road and gets struck by a car. That's where the depressing stuff really starts to settle in. And then, of course, Lewis brings Gage, dead, to the Pet Semetary, buries him, and he comes back to life and basically kills everybody except for Lewis. And Lewis has to, once again, he has to kill his son and to stop the nightmare. But before that is done, he killed his wife. Gage, as this little 5-year-old, I believe that's how old he is, he came back to life. He kills Judd. He kills, what's her name? Why can't I remember the wife? I remember everybody else's name except for the wife's name. Rachel. That's her name. Rachel. He kills Rachel and Judd, and Rachel is brought back to life by Lewis because he's so racked up with guilt that he brought Gage back to life, and it killed Lois. It killed Rachel. It didn't kill Lewis. It killed Rachel, and Lewis brought Rachel back to life. And of course, at the end of the book, it's left at a cliffhanger, but if you've seen either of the movies, you know that it doesn't turn out that well. So yeah. Now, let's start off with the scariest scenes. Any scene that Gage is in, dead Gage, who came back to life, is absolutely terrifying. That's why, one of the reasons why I'm giving this book a 10 out of 10 on the Fright Factor. Gage is absolutely terrifying. He doesn't talk like a 5-year-old kid. He talks like a demon that's using the vessel of a 5-year-old boy and taunting his victims. Like, he tells Judd that his wife was like a whore and stuff like that. And Judd like refuses to believe it, but Gage keeps nagging him, and it is scary. Especially the scene where he kills Rachel as well. That's another really scary scene. Some more scenes that I didn't talk about in the description of it. Rachel, when she was younger, had a sister. Her name was Zelda, and she died of spine disease. I don't remember what the disease is called, but she dies of a spine disease, and throughout the book, she's having troubles, and she's having haunting nightmares about Zelda getting revenge on her. And the scenes with Zelda are very scary. And they're not even real. Like, those are some of the scenes in the book that aren't real. They're just visions in her head. And they're some of the scariest. Zelda is one of the creepiest characters ever. Last scariest part I would want to talk about is the ending scene. It leaves off on a very creepy note. It leaves off with Lewis in his house. After the police come, he explains to the police what happened. And then all of a sudden, after the police leave, he sits down at his kitchen table, or like on the floor in his kitchen, and you hear the door open, and all you hear is someone's voice say the word darling, and then the book is over. That is a terrifying way to end it, especially since you knew what happened before the police came. That is a terrifying way to end it, because it leaves up to the imagination, like, oh god, this guy's probably screwed. So yeah, you guys have heard everything that I liked about it. One of my biggest, most favorite parts of this book is Judd. Everybody that has read this book, love it or hate it, I think has loved Judd. Judd is just such a great character, and it is definitely sad when Gage goes ahead and kills him. That's one of the biggest downers. As far as problems with this book go, I honestly don't really have many, because it's a it's not a short book, but it's short in King standards. How long is it? Yeah, it's only 540 pages, so it's not really even that long. Every scene matters. Like, I don't feel like it drags along too much. The characters are great. There's a lot of scary moments. There's a lot of depressing moments. I don't really have a problem with anything in this book. That's obviously, I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. Even though it's not in my top 10, I think it's in my top 15, it's getting a 5 out of 5 stars. So you can see that even though it's not in my top 10, it's almost a perfect book. That's how many good books Stephen King has written. A lot of his books don't have many problems. And that's what's great about Pet Semetary and many of the books that I'm going to be talking about in the future. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you're new. Let me know what your thoughts are on Pet Semetary in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.